Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I'm about to do another reaction video. This reaction video is coming from the YouTube channel of Sarasota Tim. So, for those of you that are not familiar with that man's channel, I would recommend that you go and watch his channel and you go ahead and subscribe. He puts out some fairly decent content, high quality content. His channel is growing fairly quick because he's got some good stuff. I feel. This is one of the more practical, uh, I guess you can say, RV slash nomad channels that I've came across recently on YouTube. This man, he currently resides in South Florida. He lives out of this rig right here, and that's his tow vehicle, that red Toyota 4Runner. So on this video, he's gonna kind of give you guys a tour of his living arrangement here, and of course, he's paying rent for this campsite. I forgot how much he said that he was paying per month for rent, but for anyone that's wanting to live in Florida, this general setup right here is probably the best you're gonna get in terms of affordable housing without living somewhere in the ghetto. So let's see. Let's check this video out together. And remember, the channel the channel name is Sarasota Tim. So go check him out.
Sarasota Tim coming to you from Boynton Beach, my home base here in Florida. And I just wanted to show you guys how I'm living as a minimalist and loving it. I did buy a home for $11,000, and you're looking at it. And it's a mobile home, meaning not a mobile home in the term of mobile home, but it can move. It's on wheels. I actually got one of the tires covered up with a blue tarp down there so that the sun doesn't dry rot the rubber. There's actually tire covers you can buy, but I just put a little tarp on there with a bungee cord. And I want to invite you to come in for a second and just show you what I have and how I live. There's my 4Runner. I own two things in this world, my vehicle and my home. And it's very good. I'm loving it. I've been doing this for about 14 months now, and I wouldn't change it. And with
All right, folks, you heard him. $11,000 for his home. Now, of course, when you buy a home like this, you also got to take into consideration the kind of vehicle that you currently own. That, or you might have to buy a vehicle to tow something like this. Now, this rig obviously is small enough and light enough to where he's able to tow it using his Toyota 4Runner. Now, I'm not sure what year this vehicle is, but just off the top of my head, if you get one that's new, you're looking at probably 50,000, 40, I don't know, 45, 50 grand for one of those new. I'm not sure what year that is, so, but this setup down here in South Florida where he's currently living, like I said, this is going to be about the best you're going to do when it comes to affordable housing. And the neat thing about this particular setup, people, is whenever, if something comes up and he needs to leave Florida, or he wakes up one day and the landlord decides to raise the cost of lot rent to something insane to where he can no longer afford it, to where he doesn't even feel that it's going to be logical for him to live in that particular part of Florida or Florida at all. See, the neat thing about his setup is all he's got to do is hook up that rig to the back of his SUV and he gone. It ain't gonna be like living in a trailer park where, okay, you first move there, everything's affordable, everything good, and then one day, just out the blues, the landlord wants to raise your allotment from, let's say, 500 a month to, I don't know, over 1,000 a month, and now all of a sudden, you got a lot of people that are on fixed incomes, or even those who work, they don't have that kind of money to pay lot rent in addition to whatever they got to pay to maintain their trailer. You see, with something like this, He bought it for 11,000, so most likely he paid $11,000 cash money. Now this man is he appears to me to be a fairly responsible man, so most likely he doesn't have a car payment on this SUV. He might, I don't know, but I'm gonna assume he doesn't. But even if he, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna assume he doesn't. So let's keep going.
With the way everything's going on in the world, with high cost to buy a house and property taxes and interest rates and all that, this is just fine for me. And when it's not fine anymore, I'll hook it up to the back of that 4Runner and pull it somewhere else. So let's go on inside and I'll show you what I have. You've seen my 4Runner in many videos. I've shown this too. Now I live in 16 feet and it's an FQ, which is for front queen. And I've done a video inside my camper already if you want to go back. But if you're new to my channel, I'll give you a quick one here. First of all, on the outside, this right here, I use when I travel with my 4Runner. These fold in, these legs, and just folds up to about that, flat. And I can put it on the side of my 4Runner and get up and grab things off the rack. I have these black totes that I put up there that are waterproof. So when I'm traveling, I have not only a lot of stuff on the inside, but I have things on the top I can carry too. So it's a wonderful vehicle. And this is a table that I received from the gigs that I do, a black tablecloth.
I got interrupted every so often. That way I don't get copyrighted here. So I'm gonna intervene real quick and say something important here. Now, notice a little bit ago, Tim mentioned that he owns two things. That is his home and his vehicle, and that's something. Now, for those of you that are currently paying rent, maybe you're working towards home ownership. Or you currently own your home except they're paying your mortgage down, or you own your vehicle outright, or even if you own your vehicle and you're making your payments. I mean, just remember when it comes to monetary stuff, two things that are going to make all the difference in your life is A, do you own your home? B, do you own your vehicle? And when I say own your home, I'm talking do you own your home outright? Do you own your vehicle outright? Now I know, especially in this crazy time of inflation, everything is super expensive. And it may not always be easy or even possible for people to own both their home and their vehicle outright. But if you don't own your home and or your vehicle outright, that should be the very first goal that you should have when it comes to your finances. I mean, forget all the new fancy clothes. Forget worrying about keeping up with the latest with the latest technology when it comes to your cell phone or your computer or your laptop. Forget all that crap. I mean, for those of you that are like younger, like in your 20s and your 30s, I mean, my suggestion is if you have to, take that second job, work that 60-hour work week, and hurry up and pay off your house. If you have a car note, get rid of that too. Because in the course of life, the two things that you're gonna own that are going to help determine your ability to build wealth is, do you own your house outright? Do you own your vehicle outright? Because for most of us, when it comes to monetary possessions, our home and our vehicle are going to be the two biggest items that we purchase. Now, for those of you that went to college, you can add a third one, and that's going to be your education. Which, again, I would encourage you guys to hurry up and pay off your student loans. But I would say for the vast majority of us that didn't go to school, the two biggest things that we're going to purchase is going to be a vehicle, and it's also going to be your home. So let's keep going.
Cloth goes over it. It rained yesterday. I just put my awning out for you guys. I put this up when it's really bad weather because I don't want the wind to, rip it off. But it's a beautiful awning. This is a 2016. Everything works. I've got a digital antenna up there that came with the camper. But anyway, back to this table. They gave me that to pass out the products that I do at the Publix. But I don't use that one. That one stays right here because they gave me a second one. The first one didn't show up in time in the mail, so I have it in the truck now when I go and do my product demonstration. So I just use this one to put a little plant out here or whatever I want. I've got a little folding table there and some tools right there.
All right, folks, take a real quick look at his little setup on the exterior. I mean, if you guys notice, he's got absolutely nothing expensive, nothing ridiculous. Everything you see out here, you can go to your local Big Lots or Small Lots or Walmart and purchase. I mean, that little table he's got, you can buy that for less than 30 bucks. That little carpet he's got, you could probably buy that for, I don't know, maybe 50. This stepping stool thing he's got, I don't know what he uses it for, but you could probably buy that for, I don't know, maybe 30 some dollars tops. So you look at this man's exterior setup, it ain't nothing fancy, it ain't nothing crazy. These are all things that you can go to your local Big Lots or Small Lots or Walmart and purchase.
There, and this opens up way out here. But we're hit every day in South Florida with these blow up thunderstorms, and this wind kicks up. That's why I put the awning in, and it blows this all around. So I just kind of folded it up kind of narrow to make it a little bit more aerodynamic. But without it, it's really tough to come out here with your bare feet on these rocks. But the rocks, when it rains, absorb all the water, and I don't have any flooding issues whatsoever. So let's go on inside the Wolf Pup. This is a Wolf Pup camper made by Forest River. And the first thing you notice is that Dometic fridge right there. That is, I did a review on that. These are awesome. It's actually a refrigerator. And inside I just have some salads, and I have a steak I'm going to put on the grill later, some Gatorades and drinks. This is an addition to the fridge I have here, which is just a small dorm type fridge that, you can only put a certain amount in there. And I do have a freezer though. So anyway, the Dometic I bought to put in the back of the 4Runner. When I first bought that, I was going out, traveling out west to Utah and stuff. And this works with a Jackery solar battery that I bought as well. And anyway, that's another story. I'll get into that some other time. The bed is going back and forth this way. When they built this camper, it went this way. The people I bought it from were elderly, and he had failing health. And so he wanted to watch TV over here versus the TV when they built the unit was.
All right, folks, again, you see the inside of this man's camper, travel trailer. Again, nothing crazy, nothing fancy, nothing super expensive. And now he's got two refrigerators because he does but he's got two smaller refrigerators. And I would say for those of you that are maybe you're in between careers, maybe you don't quite know where you want to live, but you do not want to pay this exorbitant amount of rent for an apartment because you don't want to be in an apartment. You're kind of like me, you hate apartments, or you want to own something, but maybe you're not quite ready financially or emotionally to settle down and purchase a traditional house. Now, and I would say for those of you that are considering purchasing a trailer or any kind of a modular structure, unless that structure sits on your own piece of land, don't even waste your time. I mean, don't even waste your money because at any given time, at any given point, as I've told you a little bit ago, you got a lot of these landlords that own the lot and they can raise the rent whenever and how much ever they want, and there's little to nothing that you're going to be able to do. and you could potentially lose your home as a result. So I would say for those who don't want to live in an apartment, you're not ready to purchase a traditional house, I would say, go ahead. I mean, now granted, there are families that do purchase travel trailers, and I guess they do just fine. But in this particular situation, this particular setup, of course, is going to be more ideal for a single person, or if you have a significant other and you guys get along extremely well. I guess you can do this with another person as well. But this man, of course, he's living by himself. So I would say, especially for those who live by yourself, this type of a setup is going to be ideal. Now, obviously, if you buy a travel trailer is going over time. A travel trailer is going to depreciate in value. If you're driving down the road and you get into a bad accident, or you get a lot of damage due to uh, due to the weather, rather a tornado blows it over, or you're driving down the road and someone runs right into you. You know, the disadvantage of owning one of these is 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get the money you paid for it. Like if you paid, now I don't know what the value of this particular trailer is worth. I have no idea. But if you go and you pay market value for something like this, let's say you pay $20,000, the insurance company probably is going to only give you 15. And if you feel that you ought to get more, now you're going to have to lawyer up and take them to court. Now, if you pay less than the market value, then there's a better chance that you'll get back all your money. Now, in this particular situation, I don't know if this man got a deal for $11,000 because I don't know what the value of this particular trailer is at this particular point. So I would say that would be about the only disadvantage in this particular situation of owning one of these. Let's keep going.
There's a smaller one placed on the wall here. So he put it over there and he turned the bed around, and it really is a better floor plan, in my opinion. So I went and bought a Vizio bigger TV. This is 32 inch, and it comes loaded as any smart TV with apps. There's total free apps and movies. You don't have to stream anything. I mean, I have Netflix and all that if I wanted to pay for it, but I don't. I watch the antenna channels and Tubi and Pluto and Peacock, and there's just so many apps that come on these smart TVs. And all I do is turn on my hotspot on my phone that I'm holding in my hand, and I have visible wireless, and it has an unlimited data hotspot. I think I use a couple of terabytes a month, and it is so strong. I have 5G service on my regular data, and it puts out such a signal that I can power that TV. There's no buffering, there's no problem. It's boom, 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 and it's all free. And then just the antenna that I showed you on the roof of my camper brings in such clear 1080p, 720p movies and channels, local channels that I can get clear as a bell. Not like the old days back in way back. You had to use rabbit ears and everything was real snowy. You would think this is regular cable TV.
All right, folks. As you all can see, I mean, he's got a fire extinguisher. And also, when you buy something like this, you're going to also want to have a carbon monoxide detector. And as you heard him mention, I mean, you don't need to get no kind of cable service. I mean, I'm not sure how many of you are even doing that anymore. Back in 2014, I believe, I woke up one day and I got to thinking, you know what? Everything I like to watch is on YouTube, so why in the world do I have cable? And at that moment, I went on ahead and I called the cable provider that I had at that time, and I canceled my cable prescription. And since it was earlier than the term of my contract, I went on ahead and handed them over that $300 and some dollars, canceled the cable, and I'm glad I did such a thing. And another thing about buying a travel trailer that you're gonna want to watch out for, of course, is gonna be mold. Like whenever you go shopping for one of these, either A, do your due diligence, like do a little bit of research. That way, when you go shopping for one of these, you know what to look for, you know where to look when it comes to mold and just things of that nature. Or if you're able to, take somebody that knows about travel trailers and RVs with you. That way, they can inspect it for mold. They can also inspect it for other type of defects. Check all the equipment, make sure all of your equipment works the way it's supposed to. And something that I would strongly recommend, if possible, is if you're going to buy a travel trailer, rather it be from a dealership or even from a private party, take it to a place that repairs RVs and travel trailers and fifth wheels, and have them do a thorough inspection. Check for mold, check for leaking, check for any type of any type of malfunction. And of course, they're going to check all your equipment to make sure your equipment is working like it's supposed to as well. So when you buy a travel trailer or anything like this, definitely do your due diligence because many of these units are built like crap. Why I don't have one. However, if I'm like my man Tim here, Sarasota Tim, and I desire to live in a place like South Florida where housing prices and rent prices are just completely insane, especially when you take into consideration their mediocre economy and their piss poor wages. A setup like this would definitely be ideal. Or if you're the kind of person that can't stay in one place and every few months you want to move somewhere new for whatever reason, this type of a setup this type of a setup would be ideal. Let's keep going.
For free. Okay. And then, of course, to make it very nice, I got a sound bar at Walmart. I connect it to my smart TV. So if I listen to YouTube videos and listen to music or even my movies, I got a theatrical sound I can really sit here and enjoy in my beach chair that I just bought a cushion. It's a regular beach chair. I did buy the high boy. I don't like those low ones. And I bought this really nice cushion. It's really padded. And I have two things I sit on here. This is a gel, and I'm very comfortable. I just kind of put it at an angle. I have my Dometic there as an ottoman. I actually use this little pillow here. I put my feet up on there, or I can put one leg on the bed. And believe me, if I get tired of sitting there, I just get over on the bed. But it's very, very nice. And this bed is a real mattress. It's a real queen. The bed that came with it that went like this was the queen. They call them queens in these RVs, but they're not true to the inches. This is a real queen, and I have two memory foam pillow top pads on there. This bed is
All right, now that bed, as he just told you guys, is not the original bed that came with the rig. Now, me personally, what I would have done is I would have went to Walmart. I would have bought me one of those adjustable bed frames to where you can either adjust it from twin to full to queen. I would have bought me one of those frames. I would have adjusted it to twin, and I would have just went on ahead and brought me a twin size mattress to go on top of it. Well, first I would have had to go to Lowe's and get some plywood, put the plywood down, and then on top of that plywood, put down a twin size mattress. Because to me, a twin size mattress, like a regular mattress, is going to be more comfortable than memory foam. Now, memory foam is comfortable, don't get me wrong. But I think in the long term, the twin size mattress is going to be a little bit more comfortable. It's going to last longer. That's just my opinion. If you go back on this channel and you look at my van build of my latest van, I got a actual twin size. I got a regular twin size mattress in my van. But if I was, if this were me, that's what I would do. Let's keep going. And again, even his setup, it's nothing expensive. It's nothing ridiculous. It's just normal, logical, practical means of being comfortable in a small space. Let's keep going.
Super, super comfortable. And then a lot of these small campers, they have a low roof. I have a 6.5 foot roof, so it feels much roomier in here than it is. And the wood cabinetry and all that's very luxurious, so it's a lot different than some of the small campers you go in and you go, ooh, I mean, this is not really that inviting and certainly couldn't live in it. And I have this dining booth here, of which I really don't use much. I could, but I'll usually just put my plate here, or I grill out a lot of stuff. But what's really good about RVs that they don't have is real estate, counter space. I've got a lot of counter space here. And the only con to this is my sink is somewhat shallow. It's not as deep as I would like. My bathroom sink, I should say, is much deeper. But, I just turn the water on low and try not to splash. And then I clean up my mess when I'm done. And I'm a very tidy person. These are a couple of candles that I'll burn occasionally and monitor very closely before you get on to me. I'll just burn them to make some nice smell in here. I got my coffee maker in the morning. And then, I keep some food stuff. There's some, that dressing that I was passing out. I got to bring home the unused product that my company buys that I did.
All right, folks. Another important thing to address real quick. Now you heard that Tim mentioned that he is a tidy person. Now, honestly, if you're gonna own one of these type of travel trailers, you also need to be a tidy person. Because if you buy one of these travel trailers and you're a complete slob, you eat and you leave your dishes sit around for several days at a time before you finally get around to washing them. If you're that kind of a person and you buy one of these, you're gonna have rodents in your rig in no time. Your rig is gonna be bug infested with roaches and all that nastiness in no time. And once you come across rodents coming into your rig, a lot of times those rodents are going to eat away at wires and important components that make that make your rig operate the way it's supposed to. So if you buy if you buy a travel trailer, you need to be tidy. You like as soon as you get done eating your meal, you need to go ahead, take the time, wash all your dishes, wipe all your countertops. Don't leave any type of moisture around. Don't leave no kind of food particles around because if you do, you're going to attract rodents and bugs in no time. And then you could potentially ruin your rig, and then your rig will be worth nothing. Let's keep going.
Did the chicken tenders with. And, I am kind of limited on space, so my cabinets and stuff I use for my clothing. So I don't put the towels and things in the bathroom. I just kind of put them right there and grab a new washcloth, a towel, or a hand towel here to dry dishes. But again, under the sink, there's stuff in storage there. I've got more things in a toaster. I keep my garbage right there, which I have to empty. And I've got this big bay window. If I sit here, look at that. Depending on where the RV was parked, you could change your view. It could be a lake out there. I could be in the mountains. I can tow this anywhere I want. It only weighs 3,000 pounds and it can hold 1,000 pounds. And my Forerunner can tow 5,000 pounds. So I'm perfectly matched with this little wolf pup camper. And it's got this beautiful wood grain floor, and to keep it from getting scratched up, I put these little runners down. I replace them every few months at Walmart. I buy a new one. They get a little faded looking, and things stick to them. I'm going to look for something different maybe next time, maybe even a different color. But there's storage underneath these over here, and I put everything up for you guys to make it look more airy and roomy in here. There's a nice window here. So here's what I'm doing. I'm sitting in my chair right now. I got my feet up. There's TV. Here's my bed. I can look around. I have a fan that goes all the time. The AC, of course, is always running. I have it off now so you can hear me. It is noisy, but I'm used to it and it works. So please, girl, don't ever fail me, because here in Florida, if this didn't work, I wouldn't be able to be in here 5 minutes. So anyway, these napkins, don't laugh. I get these from my gig job. They send a box.
All right, folks, I got to interrupt again just so I don't get copyright. I don't really got a whole lot to say this time, other than if I can't, I'm going to just, again, point out the fact that everything you see in this man's rig, it's all practical stuff. Everything that you see inside this rig, you can buy at any Big Lots or any Walmart. You can even buy it at most Goodwills if you wanted to. You don't have to, you're not going to have to go order it online and then wait for God knows how long to get the item. You don't have to go to any special store anywhere. Because if you look around, I would say most everything that's in this rig, you can probably buy everything that's in this rig for, and I'm gonna say less than $1,500, and that does include that does include his little portable refrigerator. The other one, of course, came with the rig. At least I think it did. Yeah, I think it did. All right, let's keep going.
Every week to me to do these product demonstrations, and included is like some gloves and napkins and these little cups. Look at these cups I have right here. And I just save them up because I don't use them all during the demo. So I don't need to buy, as a minimalist, I don't want to spend any money. I don't have to buy paper towels anymore. These have been here for a long time. So I have all these napkins, and I just grab one and wipe my counter and my hands. Let's see. A friend of mine gave me this little lamp here with the clip. I had one down here that was taking up real estate. This is way better, and it's LED. Doesn't draw much. Oh, I have a microwave that works beautiful. If I want to make a baked potato, if I grill a steak or a burger or whatever, or heat up oatmeal in the morning, or need to, warm up my coffee, I've got a microwave. Under here is a 2-burner stove, propane, works perfectly. Never use it because I actually have 2 of these camp style that I can put on that table right out there, and use those with my big propane cylinder. But I don't find myself using them. I find myself using my grill, which I didn't show you. I've got in the front of the camper, connected to my big propane tank that also heats up my hot water. My hot water heater works on electric and propane. It's down underneath the bed there. And I just flip this little switch right here. And that will turn on light the propane and get the hot water heated. And that hot water, it's 5 gallons or 6 gallons, will last me 2 showers. And in the heat we're having outside here in Florida, it doesn't have to run all the time. It doesn't cool down that much at night. I'll pick up this hair here. What else can I tell you? Let's see. Oh, and I have these 2 switches right here. One's a amber light outside, and the other one is a bright LED floodlight that lights up that whole area. So if I need to go out to my truck or whatever, I have a beautiful white light out there, and then a nice little floodlighting with the amber light that's on the outside of the camper. What else can I tell you? As you can see, it's 80 degrees in here, so it's getting a little warm, but it's early in the morning. It's only 7:09 a.m. I'm taking a day off from the gym today because we have really hit it hard. And I'm actually going to go work with my buddy that I do the boat lift work with occasionally. He needs another set of.
All right, folks. Again, I gotta interrupt just to make sure I don't get copyright on this particular video because I'm trying to get paid around here. But anyways, you know, as he told you at the beginning of the video, he only paid $11,000 for his rig, and that his SUV is his tow vehicle and it's also his daily driver. So he's got two in one when it comes to the vehicle. It's a Toyota, and it doesn't look too old. So that Toyota SUV is going to last for a very long time to come because it's a Toyota. But and I gotta say, like I told you guys before, I like this man's channel a lot. Uh, this is his channel is called Sarasota Tim. I just think all in all, he's very practical in his minimalistic approach, and just his approach to life. I think is very practical. Like I said earlier, he's one of the more practical YouTube RVers, whatever you want to call his channel, that I've came across recently. I mean, 'cause you got other channels that claim to be minimalist. They claim to be living a simple life. But then by the time they get done showing you all the different additions and modifications that they made either to their travel trailer or they made to their van or their truck or whatever vehicle they're driving in, by the time you add up all the money that they spent on their modifications, you got some of these people that are driving around in $100,000 rigs. You got other people that buy RVs that are over $100,000 right now. And on top of that, they're making payments on it. So to me, when you spend that kind of money on a rig, and on top of that, in many cases, you got people even making monthly payments and stuff on it. I mean, I'm not. I mean, my attitude is this: do what you do however you do, whatever makes you happy. However, don't come at me talking about you're living minimalistically, you're living a simple life, and you're driving a vehicle that's over $100,000. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you the sideways stare because I think what you done said was kind of stupid. Let's keep going.
The hands today to change a motor on a boat lift. So I'm going to pick up a hundo. It's $25 an hour with a minimum of 100. Now let me go ahead and just show you the bathroom here. Oh, it's a little narrow. Sometimes I'll hit the door. Let me turn the light on. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hide this towel from you guys so you don't think it looks too ghetto-ish. Turn this light on right here. It's an LED light. I have these throughout and there's speakers in the roof too for my stereo system. So I'm charging my little beard trimmer there, and these are my things that I use for my toiletries. I do have a very nice toilet that works great. And this is a tub. Of course, I don't use a tub. I use the shower. And I take 2 or 3 showers a day in there. And there's my shampoo and soap, bar soap. Come out, I have a towel hanging here. I have a vent I can open and turn this little fan on. I mean, I have everything any home has. I got a nice mirror there. How you guys doing today? And hang my little hand towel there. Got a hat rack or put a towel if I need to. So that's the tour of the Wolf Pup Camper, the 16FQ, my minimalist lifestyle. It's got every single thing that a person would need in any apartment, condo, or home. I can park.
All right, folks. There's like a couple more minutes to go on his video, but I'm stopping it right here because everything that you guys needed to see and hear, you just heard. So let this soak in for a minute. This man done purchased basically an entire home for for less than 12 grand. I mean, the money he paid for this home, for his home, is far less than what many of you guys out here are currently paying just for your vehicle. Think about that for a minute. I mean, like I said before, I mean, if you're the kind of person that likes to move around a lot, you want to own something, but you're not quite ready to own a regular stick built house. I mean, this is something that I would do if I was in that position. I would do like what Tim is doing. I mean, now some of you might say, well, okay, I'm not going to own a house. I rather have a condo. That way I don't have to do no maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, true. But as you guys ought to know, if you've been, I mean, I made a reaction video not so long ago about association companies and why I would never own a property in a association community. So go back and watch that video. Uh, so, you know, me personally, I rather own something like what he's got right here as opposed to owning any type of condo. Because to me, a condo is not a whole lot different than just a regular apartment. To me, a condo is at best a glorified apartment. I hate apartments. I hate condos. The idea of having my next door neighbor, the next wall over, the next floor below me or above me, I've been there. I've done it. I'm not doing it again. So yeah, I mean, I would say for those of you that are in that predicament, uh, you know, I would go ahead and just buy something like what Tim has got right here, and then just be willing to pay lot rent for wherever you go. And the neat thing about this particular setup is, like, if you want to go to Florida during the winter time, you can. If you want to go to, I don't know, during the summer, if you want to go to, I don't know, North or South Dakota, you can. You're not stuck in one place. And whenever the lot rent of wherever you're at gets a little too high for you, at the end of the month, all you gotta do, at the end of the week or at the end of the month, depending on what kind of arrangement you got with the landlord, you can just hook up your rig to your vehicle, as Tim mentioned earlier, and be gone. You don't have to waste your time bickering around. You just hook up your vehicle and be gone. And if you really have, like many of these little rigs are self contained. So if he really, really had to, he can go to a local truck stop like Love's or Flying J, and he can boondock for a little bit if he really had to, until he found another place to hook up at. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this video.